after he attended a book launch hosted by NARC Kenya party leader Matara. Now, 4 days later, he was arraigned in court in Uganda on allegations of being in possession of firearms and ammunition. This is really messed up, man. So the minister told NBS TV in an interview, this is what he said: Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested and the Ugandan government was in touch with the government of Kenya. Otherwise, how would you arrest somebody in the middle of Nairobi and then bring him back to Uganda, either through airport, without full knowledge and support of the state of the state of Kenya? Yeah, man. So this is really messed up, man. As in what, guys? I thought this was Kenya to me comes off. We act like we are very progressive. It's a safe haven for people who don't have, who are here legally, number one. Who probably don't feel safe in their own countries, especially politicians. You can call Kenya home. We've had a bunch of politicians from around Africa who've kujad over here. But now I've never seen a situation where Kenya is in itself, actually supporting the quote-unquote abduction.
And that was wrong.
Yeah, of somebody of that stature. I thought abductions are just for Gen Zs. Kumbe, it's also for opposition leaders. You know what I mean? So this government, by the way, is creating so many enemies out here. The way we go about business, the way we go about, engaging with some of our friends out here, it's embarrassing. Because the people of Kenya don't stand for how we, these alleged things of the way we abducted Dama, the way we bundled up Kizza Besigye and took him to court over there in Uganda. It's all wrong. Like, we shouldn't be operating like this. Kenya should always be neutral when it comes to friends out there. We shouldn't be taking sides. I thought that was usually the motto when it comes to our foreign policy.
Let me remind you, there was a case where this Pakistani journalist left his country, came and fled to Kenya, only to get shot down on Magadi Road. So,
and even that was it an Eritrean Ethiopian, the guy who he was with his wifey in Kileleshwa. You remember during just before the elections in 2022, guy got bundled up in a double cab. Till today, he's never been found.
All I'm saying, if the dollar bills, smell good, they look good.
I think it depends on the kind of person who's actually being abducted. Because you remember, Omar al-Bashir, the former president of Sudan, was indicted by the ICC and he was supposed to be arrested. And ICC sent so many letters, when he lands in Kenya, make sure you arrest him. Did it happen? They gave him a red carpet, he attended the event, nice dinner at State House, and he left.
Like I said, if the dollar bills,
you know what I mean?
Good.
So it's like So this guy, he's coming into your country. He's in your country. We know he's there. How much money can we pay you guys to arrest this man on our behalf?
So we're here acting like militants.
Yeah. So we'll just use 3 guys. They're enough. They can bundle him in a vehicle.
That's really messed up.
It's extremely wrong.
Kenya has always been neutral. We never take sides when people have issues in their own countries.
Yeah.
When you kuja over here, you guys, as long as you're here legally, as long as you're not engaging in some international crime, I just feel like we shouldn't be engaging in stuff like this
at all. The Russian president Putin was also supposed to go to Russia. Remember that time? To South Africa, and then remember the South African guys were like, hell no, Putin comes here, he's gonna be a guest, no one's arresting him. No matter what you guys are saying out there, he's our guest. He comes and he goes.
Let me paint for you a scenario, JP. Imagine if Raila was the one abducted
in Uganda.
Bundled up some kagari.
That would be chaos.
As guys brought back to Kenya and straight to court when he's there, attending some book launch. They would never do that.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing I've heard, by the way.
Why can't we treat their leaders with the same respect that we treat our own leaders back at home?
But Besigye has been bullied by the president forever. Yeah. It's been the longest. Like, he's gone through so much. This was even such a soft ride for him. That guy has been he can't even leave his house, man. You're under house arrest, So I feel like they've been trying to arrest him in Uganda. Then he snuck out in some way or the other because he was under house arrest. This guy never leaves his crib, by the way.
I think he left his digo without the authorities knowing.
Yeah, and they didn't know that he snuck out.
Yeah.
And then they got information. This guy is actually already in Kenya. They're like, hey, the way we've been trying to get a hold of this guy, apana. Now let's arrest him.
But that's crazy because, what threat does Besigye have against Museveni? Besigye is an old man because I thought he retired from politics. He actually retired from politics.
But my main question is, these firearms that were found, were they found here in his house in Kenya or...
Apparently he was in an apartment in Kilimani. That's where he's been operating from.
So it's been around for some time.
Yeah, so it was a Kilimani apartment, to and fro, going for events and coming back. He was kind of like on chill mode. in Kenya, I'm free. I mean, he should feel free.
Nah, the Kenyan government snitched on him, bro.
Yeah,
they
snitched.
Snitched. They told the Ugandan guys, well, you guys, I hope you know Museveni he's the real boss.
M7, he's the main
So
man.
in the Ugandan media, in the Ugandan media, they're actually announcing. They said, okay, fine. The Ugandan government collaborated with the Ugandan government to make sure that
with the Kenyan government,
with the Kenyan government to arrest him. That's what they said today.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. I can only speculate. I can imagine Museveni making that call. Bro, you better pick up.
Yeah.
Talk to any Ugandan, man.
Yeah.
Like,
hello, William. I hear that Kizza, that's Besigye, that Besigye guy is in Nairobi. Hey, can you get him now very fast?
And ensure you bring him home.
Ensure you bring him here very fast.
He will eat matoke at Luzira. But
hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, but then Luzira is one of the worst prisons you can have.
Yeah,
I think in Africa.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
And there's a bunch of Kenyans there.
It's worse than Kamiti.
Yeah,
worse.
It is worse than Kamiti.
It's
and by then, there's so many Kenyans who are there. And once you get into Luzira, they don't have a reverse motion where you'll go to court, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they got some evidence. Once you check in, you've checked in.
And it's so brutal for Kenyans because you get, man.
There's no reverse.
It's very hard to trace you, bro.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get you. The worst prisons in East Africa are the Sudanese ones and the Ugandan ones. You never want to be arrested in these two countries. South Sudan. I'm a UG. Oh my God, man. As in, we'll just forget your story. Unless it's the governor has to, indulge.
Yeah.
But other than that, fam. Anyway, that's pretty much what's happening. Right there, right now, I see it's 8:38. When we come back, there's a guy from the United States who's gotten a face transplant after suicide attempt. Imagine a whole face transplant. This guy's called Derek. He's just 30 years old. So we'll try and make sense of his situation. As you see, you know how we're so pissed off about all these clinics doing surgery over here. Watch as it's normal. Guys are going